There was a wicked mother-in-law named Granny Mata. She was very mean and did not like her daughter-in-law, Emma, at all. Granny Mata would always say terrible things about Emma, accusing her of being a witch and claimed that she had made all her own children disappear. Granny Mata had a big scary house in the middle of the forest. Emma, who was kind and loved by her children, lived in a small cottage nearby with her husband and her 3 children, Lucy, Tom and Sam. Granny Mata did not like that Emma was happy with her family and was always jealous about the love her son has for Emma. One day, Granny Mata came up with a terrible plan. She wanted to get rid of Emma and her children forever. Granny Mata invited Emma and her kids over to her house for dinner. Emma wanted to keep peace, so she agreed to go, even though she felt uneasy about Granny Mata. When they arrived, Granny Mata greeted them with a fake smile and served them a delicious meal. The children were excited about the food and ate happily. Emma noticed that Granny Mata was acting a little strange, but she tried to ignore it. As they were eating, Granny Mata began to tell stories about how Emma had made her children disappear and that she was a wicked witch. Emma tried to defend herself, but Grandma laughed and said, "No one will believe you." After dinner, Granny Mata offered to show Emma a special room. Emma felt a bit scared, but she still wanted to be polite. So Emma followed Granny Mata. In this room, there was a small lamp lighting the way. Granny Mata led Emma and the kids to a big and dark, scary room. The house was full of strange things like old books and old-looking bottles. Emma felt nervous and held her children close. Granny Mata told them to wait in the room while she went to get something special. As she left, Emma noticed a large old book on the table. The book was covered in dust and the title was written in fancy letters. Emma tried to read it but couldn't understand the words. Suddenly, Lucy, Tom and Sam started to feel slippery. Emma tried to wake them up, but they just wanted to rest. Granny Mata was taking long, so Emma grew more worried. Emma heard a strange noise coming from the hallway. It was sounding like someone was walking softly, almost like footsteps. She decided to check it out, hoping to find Granny Mata and see what was taking her long. As she stepped out of the room, she noticed the hall was dark and quiet. Emma crept carefully, trying to make as little noise as possible. She felt her heart beating fast. Emma tiptoed down the dark hallway, trying to be as quiet as she could. The house was eerily still and the only sound was the cracking of the old wooden floors under her feet. She reached the end of the hall and found a door slightly ajar. Emma pushed the door open, just a crack, and peeped inside. The room was full of old dusty furniture and strange magical looking items. There were glowing crystal, mysterious jar, and even a big shining cauldron. In the corner of the room, Granny Mata was mixing something strange in a cauldron. Emma felt a shiver running down her spine. Granny Mata looked up and saw Emma standing in the doorway. Her eyes was cold and angry. Granny Mata marched quickly to Emma and jammed the door at her face. "You are not supposed to be here," Granny Mata hissed. "You will regret this." Emma's heart raced. She needed to think fast. She remembered her children back in the dark room and felt they might be in danger. Granny Mata was getting closer and Emma had to decide what to do next. Emma took a deep breath and tried to stay calm. She knew she had to protect her children. As Granny Mata came closer, Emma spotted a small window in the room that was slightly opened. Quickly, Emma ran back to the room where her kids were. They were still sleeping, but Emma shook them gently. "Wake up, hurry," she whispered gently. Lucy, Tom and Sam woke up looking slippery and confused. Emma explained that they had to leave quickly. The children, still fast asleep, followed her as she led them back to the dark hallway. Just as they reached the hallway, Granny Mata appeared behind them. She looked very angry and started shouting, "You can't escape." Emma and the children ran as fast as they could. They reached the front door, but Granny Martha was blocking them. Emma looked around and saw a small side door that might lead outside. She quickly grabbed Lucy, Tom and Sam and pulled them towards the small door. The side door was old and cracky. Emma tried to open the door, but it was stuck. She pulled and pushed. Her hand started paining her. Her oldest child touched her and said, "Mommy, what is going on?" with a very scared face. Just then, Granny Martha's footsteps grew louder. Emma knew she didn't have much time. With one final push, the side door cracks open, revealing a small overgrown garden outside. Emma hurried through the door and pulled her children along. The garden was dark and filled with tall, tangled weeds. Emma led the kid through the garden, looking for a way to escape. She heard Granny Martha's furious voice getting louder. "You can't hide forever." Emma spotted a wooden fence at the edge of the garden. It was tall but seems old and weak. "We have to climb over this fence," Emma said, trying to sound brave. The children nodded, clinging to her. As they reached the fence, Emma helped Lucy, Tom and Sam climb over the fence. As she was about to climb over the wooden fence, Granny Martha held her leg and said, "You can't run from me. Because of you, I have lost everything. You took my son away from me and now you must suffer the consequences." Emma felt a surge of determination as Granny Martha clutched her leg. "I didn't take anything from you," Emma shouted. "Your son made his choice and so did we." With a sudden burst of strength, Emma shook off Granny Martha's grip and climbed over the fence. Once at the other side, she turned to her children and urged them to run. "We need to get to the village." As they dashed through the tall grass, Granny Martha's anger shouts echoed behind them. Emma kept her focus on the path ahead, reassuring her kids, "We are almost there." When they reached the edge of the forest, Emma spotted a group of villagers nearby. She called out for help, and they quickly came running, concerned by their commotion. Seeing the villagers rally around Emma and her kid, Granny Martha hesitated. Emma stepped forward, gathering her courage. "Granny Martha, this isn't what you want. You are always lonely because of your anger. Let us help you instead." The villagers surrounded Granny Martha, offering their kindness. Slowly, Granny Martha's expression softened. As she realized she wasn't alone, she could hear the compassion in their voice, and for the first time, doubt crept into her heart. Emma took a deep breath. "You can start all over. You don't have to be this way." With tears in her eyes, Granny Martha finally spoke. "I was so lonely. I don't know how to be anything else." The villagers embraced her, showing that kindness and friendship were possible. From that day on, Granny Martha began to change. With the support of Emma and the villager, she found joy in the community, slowly mending her broken heart. Emma and her children visited her often, and they all learned to appreciate each other. In time, the wicked story faded, and Granny Martha became known for her kindness, sharing wisdom instead of bitterness. Emma's family and Granny Martha built a bridge of love that healed old wounds, bringing the villagers closer than ever. And so on, they lived happily, turning a once dark tale into a story of redemption and friendship. The moral of this story is that compassion and understanding can heal every deep wound. By showing kindness and forgiveness, we can transform anger and resentment into friendship and community. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. Please share your thoughts. Do you think Emma did the right thing by resolving the conflict in this manner, or should have confronted Granny Martha angrily after what she had passed through? Granny Martha was trying to kill her. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please do well to like this video and also subscribe if you haven't. Share with friends and family. Thank you so much for watching this video once again. I'm going to see you guys in my next video.